Welcome to TST, the RV industry leader in OEM TPMS. Today, we're going to show you how to install and set up TST's wireless tire pressure monitoring system. First, let's see what's included in the box. A display, from 2 to 8 sensors, a suction cup, a dash mount, a repeater, a micro USB power cable, and a 12-volt USB converter, plus installation components. We recommend that you download or reference the following installation documents. You can use the manual that came with the display package. You can also visit tsttruck.com and click on the OEM Support tab to download the TPMS How-To Delivery Insert. Page 2 of this guide has instructions for parameter settings and pairing sensors. You'll find frequently asked questions and troubleshooting tips on page 3 of the guide. This information can also be found in the installation manual that came with your display and other print materials. Let's get started. First, locate the manufacturer's placard on your vehicle. For most passenger vehicles, you'll find it in the driver door and in the front left or driver's side of a towable RV. It's important to know the tire manufacturer's cold tire pressure data for your vehicle. If your vehicle is brand new and still has the OEM tires and wheels, you can use the placard. But if you purchased a used vehicle or you're just not sure if your tires and wheels are still OEM, we strongly recommend that you confirm the tire manufacturer's cold tire pressure settings at the tire manufacturer's website. You can also check the sidewall of each tire on the vehicle. While looking at each tire sidewall, make sure that all the tires are the same, with the same load-bearing index. Next, we'll review our display controls. There are 5 programming buttons on the display. On the left side of the display are the Go, Set, and Back buttons. On the right of the display are the plus and minus controls. The power slide switch is also located on the right side of the display. Just slide it up to turn on the display, and slide it down to turn off the display. Let's begin programming your TST wireless tire pressure monitoring system. First, power on the display by moving the power slide switch up to the on position. Be sure not to power off the display unit until you've completed all the setup and programming steps. Remember, the display unit will not power off if it's connected to a power supply. Now, we'll look at the temperature and pressure unit settings. The default pressure setting is pounds per square inch, and the default temperature setting is Fahrenheit. Please refer to your documentation to change the pressure or temperature unit settings. Let's turn to the high temperature alarm settings. The default high temperature setting is 158 degrees Fahrenheit. Though this setting can be adjusted, we recommend that you don't change the high temperature alarm setting. If you're not sure if the vehicle still has its OEM tires and wheels, then you can confirm the cold tire pressure setting at the tire manufacturer's website or on the sidewall of each tire on the vehicle. While looking at each tire sidewall, make sure that all the tires are the same, with the same load-bearing index. Next up is the low pressure alarm settings for your system. It's important to remember before you start that the low tire pressure settings alarm settings must be set up before the high tire pressure settings can be set. Start off by once again finding the placard on your vehicle. Be sure to always adhere to the tire manufacturer's recommended cold tire pressure settings for each tire of your vehicle and/or trailer. Remember, if your vehicle doesn't have the OEM wheels and tires, or you're just not sure, we strongly recommend that you confirm the tire manufacturer's cold tire pressure settings at the tire manufacturer's website or on the sidewall of each tire on the vehicle. It's a good idea while checking each tire sidewall to make sure that all the tires are the same, with the same load-bearing index. The low pressure alarm should be set approximately 10% below the manufacturer's recommended cold tire pressure setting. To set up the low pressure alarm, press and hold Set until it beeps. High pressure set will appear on the screen. Press plus once and low pressure set will appear. Press and release set. Then press and release go to select the appropriate wheel position on the power unit and axle on any trailer. Press plus or minus to adjust the low pressure alarm to 10% below the manufacturer's recommended cold tire pressure setting for that tire position. Trailers will be set by axle. Press and release go to move to the next tire position or axle. Repeat these steps for all remaining tires and/or axles. Please note that trailer axle groups will flash in groups of 3 at the front and the rear of each trailer. Press and release go to move to the next group or the next trailer. The trailer number will appear in the middle of the screen, numbers 1 through 4. When finished setting all axles, press and release set to save. Then press and release back to go back to the main screen. Now, we'll walk you through the high pressure alarm settings for your system. Remember that the low tire pressure alarm settings must be set up before the high tire pressure settings can be set. Once again, consult the tire pressure placard on your RV and adhere to your tire manufacturer's recommended cold tire pressure settings for each tire of your vehicle, trailer, or motorhome. You can also refer to the tire manufacturer's tire pressure data charts available on your tire manufacturer's website. The high pressure alarm should be set approximately 25% above the manufacturer's cold tire pressure settings. To set up the high pressure alarm, press and hold set until it beeps. High pressure set will appear on the screen. Press and release set, then press go to select the appropriate axle. Press plus or minus to adjust the high pressure alarm to 25% above the normal tire pressure for that axle. If the high pressure alarm isn't coming down to your desired setting, you may have not properly set up the low pressure alert. The software will not allow high pressure alarms to be set below low pressure alarms. Press and release go to move to the next axle, and repeat these steps for all remaining axles and trailer axle groups. When you're finished setting each axle, press and release set to save. Then press and release back to go back to the main screen. Once you've completed setting the high and low tire pressure alarms, you can move on to automatic code learning and programming your sensors to your display. Press and hold the set button until it beeps. The display is now in programming mode. The words high pressure set will appear at the bottom of the screen. Press and release plus 5 times to scroll through the parameters until Learn ID appears. Press and release set, and the first tire on the display will blink. Press plus to move to the desired tire position. Press and release set again, and FFF will blink. Now, hold the display next to the sensor for that tire position. Please note that internal sensors are installed 180 degrees from the tire valve stem, so you'll need to hold the display as close to this area as possible. Press and release go. IDLF will appear in the screen, then the 6-digit sensor ID code will appear. Immediately press and release set to save the code to that tire position. Press plus or minus to move to the next tire position to be programmed, and repeat these steps until all sensors have been programmed. Please note that when programming to the trailer 1 position, the number 1 needs to be visible on the screen for every tire programmed to that trailer. If programming to the trailer 2 position, then number 2 needs to be visible on the screen, and so on for trailers 3 and 4. When complete, press and release back twice to return to the main screen. The sensors you have just programmed will now show up on the display in the tire positions that you selected during the programming process. For additional information about settings and programming, refer to the installation manuals that came with your packaging and other documents that are available online for customer support. For additional information, please visit tsttruck.com or contact us